right, let's try to keep this rolling. Instead of a6, was h5 an option? Interesting idea, h5, because that's always useful, right, in those structures. Yeah, I feel like a6 was a waste of a move. And then I even noted later in the game, it actually, like I wanted to put my bishop there. So not only was it a waste of a move, but it may be even actively harmful. What? Played f6, he wanted to deny my Gorian Gambit that much? How can you be, oh man, okay, f6. I actually, so there was, I have a video on the hammer gambit, right? It was e4, e5. I was messing around and playing the Danish one time. I played d4. My opponent played f6. I took it, they c6, and it was the hammer gambit. We'll revisit that. Let's see if actually, wait, is my opponent going to gambit this? Try to, like bishop c5 here would be a great move. Oh no, this is a terrible move. Wait, okay. Even pawn takes would have been better than this because now I got check, and then off g6 I can take it and take the rook. Okay, we'll have to revisit some hammer gambit theory real quick after this game. This is pretty funny. Okay, I guess I should just take this rook. Bishop h6. Eat everything here. Yeah, so, I mean, even like if pawn takes here, I mean, they weren't like losing, but like this diagonal is kind of dangerous, you know? Like about moving your f pawn before you castle, there's a couple diagonals you open up there. Someone does have a fancy new green screen. Any hot takes for the Dutch and Benoni defenses? So, okay. I would say about the Dutch that 2 knight c3, my understanding, and then a very quick e4 is the best way to play against it. So if you want to be a Dutch player, you should really be playing with 1 e6 and offering a French, which most d4 players probably won't do, right? But other than that, it's very valid. Like you know, it's scorned at top levels, but you can't. It's not really clear why. I should just take this. It's not really clear to me why. That like where White's obvious advantage is, like d4, e6, e4, f5, and then Black gets like a very nice setup. You can play a stone wall out of that. You can do like a few different setups out of that. Pin here and win this. So Dutch, but with 1 e6 and only then playing f5. Assuming your opponent doesn't transpose to a French. I am probably the biggest titled player supporter of it, you'll find. I'd venture to say. And as for the Benoni, I think also a very valid line. I think these are good because like against d4, right? Like if you're just playing like Queen's Gambit declines or even like a lot of Nimzos, it can be very difficult to play for a win. But these are good weapons other than the King's Indian, of course, I think, to play for wins against d4 and just kind of have interesting games. Okay, wait, but as for this line, right? So, okay, wait, this was pretty funny. I have a video, so against d4, right? So if your opponent's either playing a center game or a Danish Gambit, there's this funny move here, f6, takes knight c6, right? And the point is, well, almost everyone will take because it'll be like, ooh, wow, if you take back, you'll get what I had in the game, right? Except for the knight's off the board. Check. And now if either king up or g6, both are ending very, very badly because after takes, the rook is full. So that's what they think they're going to get. But we tricked them here into playing knight c6. Now actually they're going to take this pawn. Now they take it and knight takes. And so it's actually... There's actually some pretty interesting compensation here. White here should play bishop c4, which is a very good move. I guess most people here will probably play knight c3, protecting this pawn. And then after, bishop to b4, we attack this. Most people play bishop to d3, protecting this. And, okay, we can castle. We can play here d5. I guess d5 is a very interesting move. d5, striking at the center here, takes, queen takes. Threatening g2. They should protect it, right? Okay, now bishop g4. Castles. Okay, we gotta take this knight. It's no longer pinned. Pawn takes. Long castles. Believe it or not, the evaluation of this position is dead equals. It's dead equals because what Black's gonna do probably imminently is, right, this knight e5 idea. Got queen h5 and knight e5 coming, so we got lots of pins working every which way. So this is pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting and pretty fun. I might have to whip out the hammer gambit. In the game, so imagine they play knight f3 here, which is the second most common move, right? Instead of accepting it. So this is what we had in the game. My opponent played knight takes, and then I just went check, and I took everything. At the very least, they should have played pawn takes to not lose immediately, but I think this is probably also like a big issue here of just getting to f7 very quickly. The dangers of moving your f-pawn so fast in the opening. I thought here would have been interesting maybe to play bishop c5, trying to still hammer this out. Here, so I guess pawn takes, knight takes. Okay, and this is playable for black. I guess, so the issue is just bishop c4, yeah. Really, in general, like, when you move your f-pawn in the opening, like, just put the bishop here, just cut him off, and then, like, the king will be stuck in the middle for a long period of time. You'll have threats on f7, and you'll have threats with queen h5. So if your opponent does this, though, so bishop c5 is probably what I'd recommend, right? And then, so now if they take it, knight takes, they c3. So we have a hammer, except we've played bishop c5 instead of bishop b4. So, okay, let's say castles. So we can't really play d5, right, without our bishop on b4, threatening this knight. We don't really have d5 the same way. Let's say check, king over, castles, d6. Let's say bishop out, bishop g4. It's kind of interesting. I mean, like, yes, you're down a pawn, but I don't know, with the rook can open here, right? And then there's another target behind that even on f2. I'd play this, queen d7 or e8, h6. I'd play this for fun. I'd play this for fun. The hammer gambit. So just play against any d4, even here, even a scotch d4. Just play f6 and then let him take it. Let him take it and castle on d6. If you can get in, bishop b4, I guess that's even better. And then you'll be able to castle the other way, right? Bishop b4 here, so that you can set up a really nice d5. And then the bishop comes out g4, castles. You got a lot of open lines for your rooks, right? You've got fewer pawns, but more half-open files, as Eric Rosen would say. So the hammer gambit against any d4s and king's pawns, just play f6, let him take it. That's pretty fun. I'll have to try that. All right, let's go back to the... Oh, we got d4. Let's play a hammer gambit. Let's do it. Yes? Are you kidding? Ugh. Don't pre-move that. Okay, wait, we were just analyzing this position. All right, let's go bishop c5. Yeah, no, Attack on Titan was phenomenal. No, come on, take my pawn. What are you doing? Oh, this is not good. Okay, don't worry. Don't you worry. Let's go like, okay, let's go like queen e7 or something. Take my pawn. This is rough. I shouldn't have done this. Don't worry. The power of the hammer will power us through. What do we got here? Because knight d5 is coming, right? I think I need to, like, really take knight d5 away. This is a big issue. Attacking all this stuff. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, we're in business. Oh, we're so in business. I have this or this. Oh. We're so good now. Yeah, let's take this. It's a little tricky. Oh, ooh, the issue? Okay, wait. I have to take this first. The issue was king f1 attacking my queen. And then if I took this, there was f7 check, right? Okay, let's go takes now. Now we're good. We're so good now. Let's go. Let's go. It's hammer time. It is hammer time, baby. Take. Okay, wait. We're even on pawns. What's up, Jaker Walkie? Played a delayed hammer gambit here. Okay, let's trade so we can castle. Alright, we're in an endgame that's not even that bad. That's all we could ask for. Warhammer Titan, exactly. I were a Titan, which would I be? I like the Zeke's one, the one that can just kind of like throw all the rocks. It was a great idea. Let's go into e5 here. Or rook e8. Let's go to e5. I'll target this bishop. Take away the bishop pair, and I want c5. I want to take a lot of space. Got lots of files for my rooks. I'm feeling this position. Go bishop back. c5. c5 or e8. Yeah, so I guess like earlier in this, my opponent gave me a chance by taking f6. I think just never take f6 is kind of the solution. Like, never accept the hammer gambit. Never accept the hammer. It's too powerful. I think that's kind of the takeaway I'm getting. Just play bishop c4 and just play around it. Okay, let's go b6. All right, we've got an interesting position. b6, we got the solid, got a nice little setup there. Some knight move to attack it. e5, a4. Let's just go here. So an interesting endgame. The thing is, my opponent is not that bad at chess. So we haven't just been able to wreck them. In fact, they're pretty decent at chess. Okay, let's go here. So d4, I'll go c4 and knight d7. Because this bishop was in my way of, I guess, what was my only open file. Okay, it's time to take this. And we'll bring them both onto the E file. E7, F4, bishop D3. Here. Now I will play rook f5. Take this. Yeah, so bishop d3 I think was important because it took away f4. f4 could have held it together. So knight g3 takes away rook f5. However, I think oh no, well, rook e8, there's f4 again, right? So that wasn't even that smart. What do we need then? I need rook f5. So do I do this? Oh, that wasn't a good idea. Wait, knight g3. Yeah, this wasn't a good idea. They needed to stop this. Wow, my mouse is everywhere. Okay, chill. Rook is attacking this. Knight should just come back. And we take it. And we will need to make a pass pawn. I mean, this is a little awkward of a setup. Worst comes to worst, we just kind of sacrifice one to push through. But best comes to best, we could either win that pawn or just kind of roll through. Hopefully best will come to best. Try and play like a5 and b4. Okay, they don't really want that. Trade. I think this should be good. d4. I think I can like sacrifice this even, honestly. It's not really necessary. I can just bring my king in. But I think I can. Ooh. Really? Okay, takes b4. This is what I wanted. Then I wanted to bring this back and check. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Also, like, the king is just going to roll here. I mean, at the end of the day, like, my pawns... Oh, this is tricky. Wait, I can't make that trade, actually. This is just a draw. G. Yeah, that was actually a very good idea in 84. I didn't realize that I couldn't make that trade. King d5. This should be good. Takes and go. Let's go with this. c2 would lose the knight now. Knight c5. King c4 probably. 15 seconds. Knight g3, I can go b3 even. Takes and b2. Okay, but just c2 here wins the knight. It's simplest. Yeah, interesting endgame. Can have a look at this. Go here to not allow king b3. Oh. There we go. We got him. Interesting one there. All right, let's roll it. Let's roll it out. Okay, nice resignation there. Okay, well, we played a hammer. It was a successful hammer. It was a pretty fun game. Exactly. So knight c6. So we were just talking about this, right? Takes, knight takes f6. This is very fun compensation. We were talking about attacking this pawn. If knight c3, we go bishop b4 to attack this. If bishop d3, we go d5. Takes, queen takes. Bishop comes out. Castles. Rooks come to the middle. Cool stuff. My opponent played the best way, which I think is knight f3. And the thing is, now it's just like, if you just kind of take this, it's like you've moved this f pawn, right? Like knight g5 is dangerous. Even if they just kind of ignore everything, it's like, what do? You need to castle this way because of this guy. So not the most fun situation, and there could be other issues of your king being in the middle for that long. And so bishop c4. So yeah, the hammer just isn't that ideal. If I did take this in the game, oh, there was takes and queen d5. Kind of a nasty situation there. Attacking here and here and not being able to deal with both threats. If queen d5 initially, threatening this and this, the queen can counter it. But otherwise, yeah, so queen e7 was the best move. Knight c3, yeah, this is a tough situation with knight d5 coming, attacking the queen, attacking this pawn. So I go bishop b4 just to get rid of that, which is also best. But we're both playing best moves, but it's plus 2.5. But now after takes, it goes down to plus 0.6 because we can just play this endgame. Yeah, basically, just don't take it. Just don't take it. Takes, knight takes, then you unleash the hammer. Don't unleash the hammer if you're playing white. And so we were able to win this endgame. So this is just equal, plus 0.2. We get our pieces out in e5, and we're able to eliminate this bishop pair. My opponent is playing also quite accurately, to be honest. So we go here, bishop f5. Here's where I think I start to build up an edge. So I attack this pawn, d4, c4, knight d2, right? So this is like pretty even. It shouldn't really be that much better for either side. But here with knight d7, I think they should move this elsewhere. Even bishop d6 kind of attacks the rook. They should move this elsewhere. But with knight f1, I'm able to take this. And not, like, if your knight were on d4, it would be great, right? It would be on a dark square outpost against the light square bishop and just keeping my pawns all stuck. But the knight is very far from d4, and this is not even solid, right? So with this next move, bishop d3, I prevent these pawns from joining each other. I also prevent g3 from even supporting f4, because that would be hanging as well. So this knight is far from d4, and these pawns are far from making it solid, which would be a very, very different position. But that's just not the case here. I'm already threatening rook f5 to take this pawn. It's just more concrete than that. Knight g3 was a good move to take away rook f5. I played a rook e6, which wasn't the best move because I immediately noted it doesn't have any threat. Rook e8, just f4, right? And I don't want to allow f4. So engine here is recommending just like kind of bringing the king in. It's hard to really say what to do. I would have maybe tried to boot that knight away to try to get rook f5 going. But okay, rook e6 and knight h5 was just a very bad choice because of it gave me access to the f5 square here. Otherwise, it's only minus 0.1. Saying rook d1. It's not really clear here. Rook d8. Maybe the idea is d4. So that, you know, imagine if I could trade that pawn for that pawn, then I could start getting my passed pawns rolling. And eventually in any endgame, it is decided by passed pawns. So passed pawns really become the focus as soon as queens leave the board. But yeah, I'm able to eliminate that pawn, and this should all be winning. We'll see if I mess this up. So we trade everything, all the rooks here, and d4 was a very good choice, actually. And my concern here is these pawns are on the same color as my bishop, right? So imagine they get stuck. Like, imagine, like, this knight comes to d4, this king comes in, or whatever. Like, my pawns could just get stuck. They might never be able to make it to dark squares again. So that's a big concern here. So I just played d4, which, my idea here is just takes, and now I want to play c3. I want to get them on the opposite color of my bishop, so that way they can roll, and this bishop should control that queening square on the far end. So, yeah, this is -4. The knight's just not going to be able to do enough to stop it. King d2. 7 takes before. Knight e4, yeah, was a very good choice, and I think your bishop f1 is the only good move. Because if I take this, yeah, I think this endgame is just drawn because we both have these two passed pawns, two connected passed pawns, and so these can just keep my king stuck forever. And ditto here. So both our kings are just going to be stuck monitoring these passed pawns, and there's just no way for me to make progress. So I play your bishop f1 to keep that on the board so to not lose my bishop. Attacking g2, take. And here comes g4, trying to save that, but I don't think there was much they could do anyway. I guess d5 is a better chance. Takes, because they can check and take this. So maybe trying to, like, as many pawns as they can trade gives them more drawing chances. Because if I run out of pawns, I can't win the game, right? But takes, and at this point, this is just very strong. I have two very strong passed pawns here. King's coming d5. Yes, the material's equal, but their extra pawns are not nearly as useful as mine. So here comes, and the king will come to d5, and these pawns just roll at a certain point. c2, and we won the knight. But yeah, an interesting game. We dropped the hammer. Another saga in the hammer gambit. Subscribe if that'll go on YouTube. All right. Oh, we made it all the way to 4th in this arena, even though we joined very late.
William Grave, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. e4, e5, knight f3, bishop c5. The Bushcast Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero pawn unlocked.